Hey folks, this is Ariel Baruch out of Sierracast TV studio here in central New Jersey. Today we're going to talk about body mass index and body weight planner. So those are extremely critical two parameters, two terms that people really need to know, and in their quest to improve their health and to improve their nutrition. So really this is meant to be a series of videos that is going to talk about nutrition, but the way I see it is it's important for people to see and understand what body mass index is, especially for those people who are not physically active, people who are concerned about their health, people who realize they put their health on the back burner, maybe they have some other issues in their life, maybe their priority is children right now. So and they understand that the health issues are important for them, but at the same time they don't know where to start and how to approach this. So let's talk about body mass index. So I have website here opened. It's a cdc.gov website, and it talks about the definition of body mass index, what it is, and what people need to know about this. Interestingly, now in the COVID-19, we are in a Thanksgiving week, and the big bold statement on the website is COVID-19, obesity, and excess weight increase severe illness risk. So this is extremely important topic. It's important to understand what it is. So for adults, especially for people who are not very active, for people who don't really go to gym, they need to understand that the BMI index is essentially taking into account the weight and the height of a person. So within certain ranges, if BMI index is within 18.5 to 25 value, that's considered a normal range. If BMI index is above 25 but below 30, it's considered person is overweight. And if BMI is above 30 or above, it's considered obese. What happens is that people may think that they're doing okay, but really they should look at the BMI index. And like I said, it's especially important for people, not for athletes, but for people who are not regularly exercising, for people who just go about their life doing regular things, taking care of children, taking care of family, and they don't really take seriously their health, and at the same time they understand they need to do something about this. So let's look specifically at myself. I'm 5'9". My height is 5 feet 9 inches. So for me, the healthy weight is 125 pounds to 168 pounds, and body mass index in between 18 and a half to 24.9. So that's considered healthy weight. If my weight right now is actually slightly higher than 168 pounds, so I am actually right now, as of today, in overweight category. It's 171 pounds. So now the next thing you need to know is that first you need to look up where you stand based on your height. So let's assume I am in overweight category. So the next thing will be I need to figure out, I need to use the tool published again on the internet by the government. It's called Bodyweight Planner, and it's published on NIH website. Alright, so Bodyweight Planner. So for example, I'm gonna plug in the weight 175 pounds. It's NIH.gov website, spelled NIDDK, NIH.gov /BWP, and then you're gonna get to this web page. So I'm gonna type in the weight 175 pounds just as an example, and I'm gonna type in the other characteristics. For example, for myself, the sex, the age, the height, the physical activity level. Physical activity level is essentially, purposefully, I'm gonna plug in light activity. They have some other versions here: very light, light, moderate, heavy. Heavy means people really move around a lot, doing a lot of physical activity. Purposefully, just to show you how it works, I'm gonna select light and very light activities here, and it will create a certain index for me, 1.5. I'll type in the goal weight, for example 160 pounds. I'll type in I want to achieve this weight in 60 days. It's going to tell me by end of January next year it will achieve this goal, and I'm going to say that I will increase my activity by 5%, meaning perhaps I will be walking more 5% is really if people just start walking a little bit more, they can achieve that. So it's very easy to achieve. And then it tells me that to maintain my current weight, I need 2,500 calories a day. To reach my target weight, to get to decrease body mass index, I would have to have roughly 1,700 calories per day. And to maintain 160 pounds weight when I reach that in end of January next year, I would have to consume 2,400 calories. So as you can see here, there's a big gap between how many calories I need to consume to achieve my target weight versus how many calories I need to just to maintain that weight. And the reason for that is really, it boils down to a very simple fact. Person who really want to lose weight, they need to consume less calories than they burn. So this way they will be able to really decrease their weight. And the most experts say really the healthy way to do it is to decrease weight by roughly 2 pounds per week. So if somebody trying to come up with unrealistic goals, for example, they want to lose 5 pounds per week, it's just not realistic. The problem with that is that they will be facing either the starvation, or they will be facing malnutrition, or they will be facing some other issues, maybe some health issues. They will probably be facing issues with binging, where they get so, where they feel that they literally starving, and then they just break down and they overeat on something, and it will essentially will break that whole strategy, because people, instead of following the strategy, people will be ending up psychologically drained, and they will be overeating, binging on food, and then it will just defeat the whole purpose. So the realistic goal is roughly 2 pounds per week. That's manageable, people can do it, but for them to achieve it, they would have to really stick with those goals. For example, 1,700 calories per week. So in this specific example that I showed. So the last thing I want to show on this page, on this body weight planner, is that the initial BMI is 25.8. That's considered overweight. The goal is to have BMI index below that, below 25. And then the final BMI index is 24, so that's considered a healthy range. So one important note here is that this BMI index really doesn't take into account, are we talking about what kind of mass weight we talk about? Is it muscles? Is it fat? Is it what's the proportion of the muscles? How much of this comes from muscles? How much of this comes from the fat? So people need to understand is that it's really not for athletes. If we start talking about athletes, I really would not even bring up conversation about body mass index, because athletes is a completely different category. The more muscles person has, the higher the metabolism rate. So the more people can eat and do not suffer from issues like gaining weight. So if we're talking about athletes who have a lot of muscles, well, those muscles will burn a lot of calories each day, and as a result, they can just naturally eat more and do not have these consequences. In this specific case that we're looking here is really for somebody who lives a sedentary lifestyle, who doesn't really exercise, who doesn't really walk that much. So this is kind of benchmark for people to understand, okay, I need to be in 1,700 calorie range for me to be able to lose weight consistently. So the trick here is, okay, well, 1,700 calorie range is pretty low. So how do we make it nutritious enough so people don't end up starving themselves? So people have a reasonable nutritional profile, and this will be the subject of our next presentation, where we go more in depth into nutritional facts, nutritional deficiencies, and other issues, like for example dietary reference intakes. Okay, so please subscribe, like this video if you feel like you got some valuable content here. Come back and we'll be putting together more videos related to nutritional topics, so we'll look forward to see you. Thank you.